This is Vet Tales, the story of the Sailing Veterinary Clinic. Last episode, we arrived in Agua Verde to begin phase 2 of our animal health campaigns in the region, delivering vaccinations and other medicines. This episode, we continue our campaign going deeper into the town with house calls and get invited into people's houses and parties to see their pets. We had started our vaccination campaign on the beach in a small palapa next to one of the popular restaurants in town. Leonor and Joel, who run the restaurant, were instrumental in getting everybody together and helping us organise our projects in the area. Their family has many rescue dogs who are all desexed and very well cared for and are major advocates for animal health in this area. We had a great turnout on the beach, with many families bringing their pets to us for vaccinations, worming and flea and tick medicine. We had help from 2 of our patrons too, which was awesome, as well as Ian on the camera with Jim, and of course Addie helping to keep the puppies entertained. It was, however, a Sunday, which meant many families were at church in the morning, and after church returned to one of the homes to celebrate and spend time together. So Joelle had organised to take us back into the pueblo to each and every home to do house call visits. So we've done a bunch of vaccinations here, but it started to slow down. So we're going to jump in the car with Joel, who is Leonor's son, and he's going to basically drive us deep into town. We know that there's around 10 dogs who came when we were up the other end of the beach that live up that end, so we're going to go see them, get them vaccinated, and some cats as well. And then, yeah, there's more deeper into the village that we will be discovering. Our first stop was the southern end of the beach, where we had met a lot of people and their dogs during our first clinic day here in Agua Verde. Everyone was expecting us, and it was good to see some familiar faces and further solidify the bond between us, the dogs and cats, and their owners. We were giving 2 vaccinations to every dog and cat. The first vaccine covers common core diseases like parvovirus and distemper in dogs and panleukopenia and herpes virus in cats. These diseases are contagious to other pets and can be deadly, so it's really important to get this vaccination done. We were also vaccinating against rabies disease, which is extremely important to protect the pets, but also to protect wild animals and humans from this communicable disease. We were also repeating flea, tick and worming medicine to get all of the animals up to date with preventative care. Desastre is a little dog we met during our first visit, and as you can see, he lives up to his name, causing trouble wherever he goes. He is a very loved member of the community, and the other dogs seem to enjoy his antics. All of the dogs and cats we saw were so well behaved, despite the fact they'd never been to a veterinarian. The local kids are always picking them up, cuddling them and playing with them, so the animals here are really docile and calm with lovely temperaments. Little Vaquita here was only a few months old during our first visit, and as you can see, she is now getting a bit bigger, and within a year she'd be able to get pregnant and have puppies of her own.
Lucky I know you've been wormed, because I wormed you. So lucky I know that you're not going to give me any worms. Es como un bebé, ¿no?
Her owners, however, would like to get her spayed. But of course, with no veterinarian in town, it is really difficult for them to have this procedure done. We were taking the names of all the pets who needed to be spayed and neutered, and will be returning to do a campaign here soon. We walked from house to house, seeing all the pets in this area of town. We got some goat's cheese to add to our cold pack of vaccines, and then we jumped back into the car to continue our journey deeper into the pueblo. Joel knows every family and every pet in town, so was slowly making his rounds for us to get every single pet vaccinated. The town is much larger than it appears from shore, and sprawls back along the valley towards the mountain. It is really rare for cruisers and other travellers to venture this far back, and everyone we talked to was really shocked to hear how many people and pets live here, as many people are under the impression it's just the beachfront community. Our next stop was a big family gathering after church. It seemed like half the town was here, with music playing, kids yelling, dogs barking, and everybody laughing. We were doing our campaign on a Sunday, which means church in the morning and then hanging with the extended family in the afternoon, with everybody coming together to celebrate and connect with all of the dogs, cats, adults, and kids hanging out. It was really special to feel a part of it and to be welcomed into the family home, with everybody lining up and bringing us dog after dog and cat after cat. It was pretty chaotic and hectic, giving every dog and cat 2 injections each, a quick check over, a worming pill, asking their owners if they'd like to be desexed, giving them flea and tick medicine, writing down all that information, and then moving on to the next dog. And while I'm doing this, all around me people partied, kids played with the dogs played with the kids, music played, and it was not at all like being in a normal veterinary clinic with closed doors and 20-minute consult times. But this is part of why we love what we do, being part of something bigger and experiencing the community in a way that not many travellers get to. It seemed even the cats were well behaved and docile in this chaos. We saw a lot of pets at this house and a lot of people, and even more kept turning up when they heard we were here. Eventually though, we wrapped up and were back in the car to head further into town with our 200 vaccinations quickly running low. We went all the way to the very end of the road, to houses that we definitely wouldn't have found on our own. This trip was phase 2 of our 3-phase project for Agua Verde. Phase 1 was our first visit, where we did checkups, worming and tick medicine, and treated any of the illnesses or injuries we saw. Phase 1 was all about getting numbers and finding out what the community needed. During that first visit, we saw just over 60 animals, but were told that there were around 100 animals in total, which allowed us to go back to Loreto and provision accordingly with medical supplies. Phase 2, which was this vaccination day, was all about preventative care, getting all of the animals up to date with their vaccinations, worming and tick medicine. We were also getting numbers and names for Phase 3, our most ambitious project to date, a large-scale spay and neuter clinic for this remote town. Phase 3 will involve a lot of organisation and a lot of money, working with local veterinarians who will drive 4 hours on a bumpy mountainous road to get here. But first, we needed to get all these animals healthy and vaccinated. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. The preventative care we give to these pets is of course important for their health, making sure there are no needless deaths from preventable illnesses, and eventually doing spay and neuter to prevent unwanted pregnancies in puppies and kittens. But it's also extremely important for the health of the human population too. In a town 5 hours drive from Agua Verde, a father and his young son recently died from Rocky Mountain fever, a blood parasite that is spread from tick bites. It is so often the children that are susceptible to these diseases, as they cuddle and play with the dogs more than the adults do. The doctor only comes to Agua Verde once or twice a month, so as you could imagine, in these small communities, the diseases can go unrecognised until it is too late. So it's so important that we get these pets vaccinated, dewormed and deticked, not only for their sake, but also to protect their human family. And as you can see in our videos, the kids take such good care of their pets and really want them to get the veterinary care they need. And of course, lots of treats too. We'd like to take a moment to say a huge thank you to the McKinnon family who donated the vaccinations for this project in memory of their daughter Lisa, who loved Agua Verde and the animals that live here. We'd also like to thank our patrons and everyone who donates to keep our projects going and our clinic afloat. And a special thank you to Joelle for driving us around, giving vaccinations, keeping records and organising the projects here, and the rest of the Agua Verde community for receiving us with such open arms and gratitude. It really was a huge team effort. It was such a unique opportunity to explore the town and meet the entire community in this way. I can safely say I would recognise almost every person and pet in town now. We went all over, meeting everybody, finding out the stories of their dogs and cats, and seeing how people live here. It really is something special that not many people get to be a part of. With the day drawing to a close, we also rechecked Duke and his brother Corbado. They both needed vaccinations, but Duke also had bloody urine the last time we were here, which we treated with anti-inflammatories and antibiotics. We're very happy to report everything is now looking normal and both boys got their vaccines. It had been a really long day. We started preparing vaccinations and equipment at 8:30 in the morning, headed to shore at 9:30 and began vaccinating at 10. We didn't wrap up until around 5 p.m. after seeing 90 dogs and cats. So that's 90 animals that received 2 injections each, a worming pill, flea and tick medicine, and a check over. That ends up being 1 animal every 4 minutes, including travel time. While speaking Spanish the entire time, it's no wonder I was feeling pretty tired. Well, it was a big success. It is now like almost 5:30 though, and we started at 9:30, so I'm brain dead from vaccinating 70 something animals and talking Spanish the whole time, so we'll give you a proper update once I'm rested. Heading back home. You're right, Jim, this lighting is good.
Yeah, right?
It's very pretty. Thankfully, we had Ian and Addie back on Chuffed taking care of dinner, and I can't help but feel extremely proud of all of the work we've done here. We truly couldn't do this without the support of all of you, in particular our patrons, donators, and the McKinnon family who sponsored the vaccinations for this project. You can help us continue to deliver much needed veterinary care throughout the Sea of Cortez by becoming a patron, making a once-off donation, giving this video a like, or sharing it with your friends. Thank you all so much for making this project come together. It truly was a team effort and we couldn't have done it without so much help from all of you. Until next episode, stay chuffed everybody.